Right, go on.
Pleasant good morning to everyone. My name is Jamel Lewis and I am the tour guide here at St. Vincent Distillers Limited. Let me welcome you to St. Vincent and the Grenadines and to St. Vincent Distillers Limited, the home of all Sunset brands. Okay? The format of the tour is that we will start at the rear, the back of the distillery, and make our way to the front in the bottling plant, and then end up right back here at the kiosk for some rum tasting. Alright? You ready?
Yeah, more than.
Alright, let's go this way.
We follow you.
Follow the leader. Okay. Okay, so the first introduction I want to do is I want to tell you how St. Vincent got its first distillery. I mean, it's quite a concise story. I mean, most guests are wondering why people wonder why there's such a distillery on a small island such as the Grenadine Island. Well, let me tell you. Back in the 1980s, St. Vincent was known for its lush green vegetation, and that vegetation was no other than sugarcane. We used to plant our own sugarcane, therefore we had our own sugar factory. So the molasses, which is a byproduct from making sugar, was utilized by building a small distillery. So a distillery was constructed just to make use of the molasses which came from our sugar factory. Back then, the distillery was named the Montbentic Distillery. But as sugarcane was doubted and then bananas came in, so the banana sort of pushed out the sugarcane. That means banana became our main crop, which means the scarcity of molasses. So the government, in turn, had to privatize the distillery by selling it to private enterprise, and that was when it was sold to Distillers and Company. So it's family owned and operated, and they took over in 1996. So they now have to import molasses from other parts of the world just to make the distillery running again. Okay? Yeah, so we used to get our molasses right here on the island. Distillers and Company now owns the distillery. So they now have to import molasses from different parts of the world. Whereas we used to get it available right here on the island. Yes. Yes, yeah, all here is sugarcane. All, as far as your eyes can see, used to be sugarcane. As a matter of fact, sorry?
Where's they mainly?
Well, Panama. Yeah, we currently source our molasses, and you know, it's wherever we can get the molasses. I mean, sometimes we get it from Mexico, Panama. We used to get it from Guyana, which is right nearby.
That's what I would have thought.
Yes.
I would have thought.
Yes, but Guyana is now closing a lot of their sugar industry, so they can no longer supply us with molasses. Because remember, Guyana have their own distillery as well.
Yeah.
So whatever molasses Guyana have, they have to use it for their own. So they can no longer sell it to neighboring.
So it's a council cake.
I don't think sugarcane can go here again, because what happened, a lot of the lands which used to grow sugarcane is now used for residential areas, whether commercial buildings or houses. All here used to be sugarcane, you know. As a matter of fact, Georgia used to be called Sugar City. Because the sugar factory was right there and the distillery was right next door to it. Yeah, so it was back in the days, and I don't know.
It says the patches of sugarcane around.
Yes, but that is for that's for home, domestic use. Yeah, domestic use. That's for domestic use. So that is why there is a distillery here, and that's why it was used and sold to private enterprise, because of the scarcity of molasses. Yeah.
So do you ship around the other island?
Yes, we do ship, but only on demand. Yes, we don't just up and ship. We don't have a constant buyer out there. All our rums are sold locally. Yes. And back in when the war set up our country, back on strong rum, I think up and half on there.
They're still there. And everybody did that used to drink rum.
And it's hard on distilleries as well. Ours, because we are known for the strongest rum. And our strong rum is on high demand out there. A lot of foreigners want the strong rum, but we just can't up and send it. We have suppliers in the UK or America or even Canada, but they only ask for it on demand. Whenever they request it, we have to send it for them. So we don't constantly send it every monthly or what. They have to request it, and it's then that we send it to them.
So the only way you're going to get this drink is actually to come to the island.
You have to come to St. Vincent, and you can't just take it back solo. You
No,
can't
no,
just
you
take it
can't
back.
drink it.
So you mean you can't just
I mean, you
carry
can,
it back?
you
Take
can,
a
but
chance.
take a chance. It's at your own risk. But if they see it, they will confiscate it from you.
Everybody's tried everything. They try color it, saying it's juicy,
Yeah,
they were
yeah.
arguing, all
Yes.
kind of thing.
Yes. I mean, come on, it's 84.5%. Who doesn't want it out there? 84.5. Yeah, very strong. You see, our distillery, look. I just tell my guests, right? We are a small, as a matter of fact, I think we're the smallest distillery in the Caribbean. But our still is designed to produce alcohol at 96%. That is the highest. 84.5 is just the reduced strength. 96 is the original strength. Most people don't know that 96% is the original strength.
That's for cleaning.
Yeah, we used to go to, there used to be a pump where we used to go to, when we used to go walk, and they used to fill up the fight. Do they still do that? They still do that?
No, that was part of the old days. You used to come and get your
raw material.
Yeah, the raw rum. And that's not even raw rum, that was 84.7. That's not 96. That is not the 96.
We used to come with a 5-gallon drum and fill it up.
We cannot sell 96 to anybody. We can't do that. It has to be 84. 84.5 or 84.7. That's what they used to get. 84.7 is what you used to get. And that used to be sold right at that blue door right there. Every Tuesdays and Thursdays, I presume. Yeah.
Can you smell that?
Yeah. It's no comparison, is it? You think so?
I don't think
The
so.
Irish potato is very, very, like I said, it can clean on the tongue.
And what?
I don't know what you're talking about, but
The Irish what?
Yeah, continue. It's a very strong rum that they got. It's not the same as this. We use this to like barbecue now.
Big fight, you know, man
Big
run the
fight.
shop and they run rum. And then the rum was watered, they put the chucky on the counter and light it. If it didn't light, the shopkeeper was in trouble.
no, well, that is because with us selling rum here, people used to come and get the rum and then dilute it down more with water. That is not on us. That's on the buyers who came to buy. That's not on us.
But the people who's drinking it, they like the ones who run, that's what I think.
And that is the reason why we have to stop selling it, because a lot of discrepancies came back on the distillery. Yes, a lot of complaints, so we have to stop selling that. So, you know. So molasses is the raw material when it comes to making all our products. Molasses is the raw material. We currently get our we source our molasses from different countries in the Caribbean or the world. We currently get our molasses from Panama. Now, we used to get it Iran. We used to get it from Guyana, as I mentioned before, but because Guyana is now closing their sugar industries, they can no longer supply us with molasses. So we have to go even further for the molasses. And the further away we go from our home country, is the more expensive it is. In turn, we have to raise our products. We have to raise up the prices for our product because of this rise of molasses. Okay? Now, this is our molasses storage tank. We have one similar to this in Kingston at the entrance of the cruise ship terminal. Whenever the boat
yeah, we
comes,
do see that, yeah.
Whenever the boat comes from whatever country the molasses came from, the boat docks. The boat docks up at the wharf. The molasses is pumped into pipes under the seabed, leading up to the tank, and then we have a truck that tows that molasses from that tank to this tank. The truck makes 3 trips per day because, as you can see, it's a big tank and we have a small tanker.
How much does it hold?
This is yes. So we can. The government only restricts us to a certain amount because molasses is way too hot. You can't get nothing heavy on the road that damages the bridges. I've got a sample here so that you can see, and then you can even taste it.
We're going to taste molasses now. Oh, smell it.
I was just gonna say,
Sweet.
you can smell it.
Yeah.
So this is the molasses right here. This is it, right? You can just take a taste if you want. That's all right.
What with the finger?
Yeah, of course. Why not? It's harmless. Thick and sweet.
Oh,
Yeah. So this is what we make our strong rum with.
It's a nice taste, yeah. It's not that sweet.
Yeah, like
It's
treacle.
got like a, it's nice.
Molasses. Watch my face.
Yeah.
a bit more.
It's a nice taste.
Okay. So you see how sweet?
Yeah. My goodness.
That is very.
It's kind of hanging on the back of my throat here.
Okay. Now,
It's gone down.
so
Still licking.
the sweeter the molasses is, the more alcohol we get.
Oh.
Yes. The sugar content, which means the amount of sugar in the molasses, is what determines how much rum we can get. Now, a lot of sugar industries want to get the most from their product, which means that they boil their sugarcane juice too much that results in the molasses being burned. And burnt molasses means low sugar content, and that means less alcohol. Yeah, less. So it's even a risk. This is the first risk that we take, and that is buying the molasses. We don't know what we get in. Yeah. It's when we get it in the tank, and then we test it, then we know how sweet it is.
How do you test it?
We have instruments on the distillation center that we do that. We test it before we use it, so that we can know what to add or what not to add.
So what value do you use?
Sorry?
What value?
Well, that's not my line of work. I don't work in that, and nor am I good. I have too much to do right now. Yeah, so yeah, but you see, the quality of molasses does not affect the quality of rum. It affects the quantity. It does not affect the quality, it affects the quantity. There are factors that affect the quality of our rum. And our rum is consistent in taste and quality. We don't have no trouble, and nobody don't have any trouble with our rum. There are 3 main factors which I like to say that contributes to the quality of our rum. 3 main factors that contributes to the quality of our rum. The first factor is that the water that we have here readily available. St. Vincent is known for many rivers, and those rivers are fresh springs with clear crystal waters. We actually route the water from a nearby spring all the way up in the mountains to our reservoir right here. We actually have pipes underground that channel that water from the spring into our reservoir.
Really?
And that is natural spring water.
So what spring?
Yes, all in Dixon. Yeah, all in
No,
Dixon.
is it
That
mountain?
water came from nice crystal clear water.
Suffer side.
That's our reservoir. We have an
Little
overflow.
bit close by, innit?
Okay.
Now, the water is so light and pure, it actually binds with the alcohol very quickly. It blends with the alcohol very quickly because you see it's not heavy. The heavier the water, the more dense it is, and it will be harder to blend. But our water is so light and pure, it actually blends with the alcohol very quickly. And you know, the blend, as you can see, if you taste our rum, it actually is palatable, it's smooth. That's because of the light water that we have. And all our water are treated and filtered before we use it. That's our filtration system there for the reservoir. Any water comes out of that reservoir is filtered and treated.
This is the filtered water. Make the water lighter for the rum.
The second factor is the location of the distillery. We are not in a congested area.
No.
We are not. So we can do whatever, we can try out new things, we can do whatever we want out here to make the rum a success, to get the most out of our product. The location of the distillery. The third and last and the most important factor are my co-workers. We keep all staff up to the age of retirement, and even if they want to stay, they can stay. I mean, it's not like you can take someone from off the street and come and make rum. Rum making takes years of experience. So with the old guys, with their experience, we just can't let them go like that. They have to, we always train someone under, so we always have someone to upgrade. Yes.
So how many staff have you got?
We currently have 43 staff on board. 43, yes. As I said, we are not a big distillery, but we do exceptionally okay. We are a low-key distillery, but we keep a low profile, but we do exceptionally great. All our rum, that's a low.
You do keep a low profile before you said about the sign. You know what was said from the major cabinet.
Oh yes. We have got one. We are doing some work on the distillery. We have a new building and a construction, so I guess when that's finished, we will actually upgrade it. So do you do a lot of code? Yes, I'm a code. And I'm also the bottling plant supervisor, so I have to leave off from my work just come and do so. Which I prefer the because I get to meet you guys and interact with you, hear your views and you hear mine.
So how long have you been working here? How long?
16 years.
Wow. Long time. So you know your
You
rum
don't look
then?
much older than 60.
Oh, straight from school?
Straight from school, yes. 2007 I start working here.
Oh.
Straight from school, I take a 1 year break and then I start to work.
Or did you have to do any special study too?
No. When I came here to work, they actually put me under an old staff because they saw that I have potential. So, and that potential paid off because I'm now the supervisor and I'm a tour guide. So.
That's good.
I'm a good.
School in Kingston?
No,
So you're very local?
I'm local. I just live right in on the distillery in Caratal. Just right down there. 5-minute walk.
Brilliant.
So if you get drunk, you just stagger across.
Is it?
Yeah.
I bet he doesn't even drink it.
You mean like
In like 24 hours?
24-hour shift? 24-hour shift, round the clock. So the next part of the tour is our this right here, this room right here is our maturing room. Here is where we send our aged rum to be aged. We actually have 2 aging rooms. We have that one right behind you. That is the original aging room, and this was constructed about 5 years ago. Because what happened, we actually did a remake of our 2 dark rums. As I said before, we are modernizing. It's part of our modernization with Karen. And then after we've done that, we took them from off the shelves. We took over the labels and even the bottles. And then put those rums back on the market. After we've done that, there was a high demand. I mean, that room alone could not have kept up with the consumers. So we had was to construct this building here and import more barrels to age our rums here. These are oak barrels. They are American oak. American oak. Each barrel holds approximately 45 gallons of strong rum of 87.4 bulk rum. Bulk rum is clear rum, but it's in bulk, so we call it bulk rum. There's bulk rum and there's cask rum. Yeah. So each barrel holds approximately 45 gallons of strong rum. When each barrel is filled, we tag them. That is, we We put the date that they were filled, which is the 2nd, the month, the 5th, and the year 2018. So this barrel was filled the 2nd of the 5th month, 2018. Yes. MB is month benthic. And then we put a number. So this is cask 2,866 cask. This is the number of the cask. And this is the gallons it holds, which is 43.3 gallons. When each cask is filled, we send them here to the age. The dates is very important. The date is what differentiates between our two dark rums. The date, this date right here. This is what makes the two dark rums very different. Now, our rum, because of the strength of it, because of the strength of our rum, it quickly draws out whatever color is in the oak and flavor. Because of the strength of the rum. Sorry?
That's how you get the color.
That's how we get it. Each barrel is burnt inside. Charcoal is in there. The charcoal aids to cool down the rum, make it cool, and actually lessen or reduce it in strength just a little. And being it made from American oak, that's what gives it its flavor, oak flavor. So because of the strength of it, it quickly draws out or immediately starts to take out whatever flavor and color the barrel has to offer.
How long does it actually stay in there?
Very important, I'm gonna tell you that. So, a barrel that has been here for 8 years is what we use for Captain Bligh. 8 years and more, but not less. It cannot be less. We can't forfeit the consumer. It has to be 8 years or more before we can even touch it for Captain Bligh.
Wow.
Yes. What happened? We want to capture the consumers with the Bligh with a regal taste, like an authentic taste. Old, very old. That is what we want with the Bligh. An old age rum. And sitting in the barrel for 8 years does that. And 5 years for the sparrows. The sparrows has to age for 5 years before we can touch it for sparrows.
5 years.
5 years. That is what differentiates our food rum. The years, the maturity. So 8 years in a barrel for Bligh and 5 years in a barrel for sparrows. That is why the Captain Bligh has won the world's best rum in London in 2014. World's best. And we only send it, we only send it like that. So we just send it up and it came the world's best rum because 8 years of sleeping help us to accomplish that. Sleeping.
I don't know if you know, but there's two market.
So these are all 18?
I know actually.
2018.
I mean all this.
I don't know. That was a good one.
No, they're asking.
Sainsbury? Okay, I heard about as I Sainsbury and then went Tesco. I heard about it. I think there's in Complaint Caribbean. Yeah, they don't get a lot of stuff on the Caribbean. Yeah.
Is all of these the same bit?
No.
Alright. This what you got here?
Yes.
And then,
If we use a barrel for Captain Bligh, we cannot do Captain Bligh because every time you use a barrel and you empty it, the color diminishes. And as I said before, we are consistent in color and taste. So that barrel can be used for sparrows. So we will not age that for Captain Bligh again. We can take that out for sparrows next time in a couple of years. Every time you use a barrel, the color diminishes.
What is the role of the barrel?
I wouldn't know that. That's the upstairs.
and they actually refurbish these, they reburn them again.
Well, we don't do that here. We
But
we don't have a plan for that here.
I
It's
see.
it's a thought, but we don't have a plan for that.
But the way they do, because I actually watch a program on TV, and it's like acres. People are like walking back. They burn. They kind of go back and burn. Even the guys who work for traffic.
I actually expect we will have plans for the country. Unfortunately. And this Harold has actually won a gold medal in New York Yes. It's on the truck. It's on the truck now. On the truck there, 2015. Whole winner, look right there.
Yeah.
2015. Our
Oh, zoom in.
Sparrow. Got the gold winners. Best age rum.
Sparrow Premium Age Rum is a mellow golden spirit with a hint of molasses. 2015 gold winner. 50 best age rum tasting competition. NYC.
Okay.
Yeah, there's not me over.
I'm gonna take you to the boiler room. The reason why I'm saying this here because another one I know you have a boiler. The boiler is a very important asset to the company. Without the boiler we can't make nothing. The boiler produces steam. It's an industrial same boiler you have in overseas in heat, but this is industrial boiler. The boiler actually produces steam to extract or strips the alcohol away from the molasses. That's what the boiler does. Produce steam, and the steam strips away the alcohol molecules from the water molecules from the molasses. That's what the boiler does.
So we're going into the boiler room now to have a look. Noisy area. So we are in the boiler room.
You've tasted molasses.
And this is a room that I think that I'm going to like a lot.
What is it?
It's the tasting room.
Oh. No.
Years ago we came up here and the things were here. And they used to pump that out. Yeah, years ago. Before I came up here with our family one time. And they come and when they get the 5 gallon drum, they won't move that drum until it's stop dripping, you know.
This room is called rum, spirit bun. Spirit bun. Remember I said rum and spirit bun.
Yeah.
Now, our still does not make rum, it makes spirit. Why we call it spirit is that because it disappears very quickly. Spirit is alcohol in its rawest form. After we've added the water to it, then we can call it rum. Always remember, rum is a blend. It's a blend. You add the water to spirit and then you get rum.
So when you say disappear, it evaporates.
Evaporates, yes. You touch, you put your hand in a bucket of spirit or still, if you can even see it, it dries up. Like a ghost.
Oh, just going to see that.
Yeah.
Well, you have drinks that they call spirit.
Huh?
Spirit drinks. You can buy a drink and it's got, I'm sure they call it spirits. You know? Rum, no? Okay, let me just
It's a petrol.
go back in a different world. I'm sure there's on the bottle says
probably
it's spirit.
it must be in the name of a drink.
Oh, in the
just
name.
gonna say.
Yeah,
Probably
makes
in the
sense.
name.
Yeah.
That's
Makes
the
sense,
name,
yeah.
spirit. Like,
But it's not actual
yeah,
spirit.
but not the actual alcohol.
No.
61 still learning. Carry on.
Okay, so as I said earlier, we cannot sell 96% to the public as spirit. We can't sell that. We're gonna sell rum. We have to sell what's on our label, which is 84.5.
Right.
So any rum, any spirit made of the still have to come in this room. This room have 5 cans.
Okay.
3 on my right, 1 to 3, and 2 more on my
So
left. And I can
okay.
access them on the 5 and C and up the console.
Right.
So what we do is that we add our spring water, treated before use of course, to that spirit, and then mix it up and then take a test to ensure that it's 84.5 and then can sell that to the public. So this is strength reduction room. Here is where the breaking down takes place. From 96 to 84. Yeah. And we have instruments for that. Yes. Really well.
It smells like the molasses, doesn't it?
Yes, yes. That's the smell of distillation and fermentation at the same time. All of them are combined together. Okay. So this area is called the distillation center. Here is where the actual alcohol is made.
Alright.
There are 2 steps or 2 processes taking place here. The first process is the fermentation process, and the second one is distillation. That's the last step. Now, we have to put the molasses through the fermentation. You have to ferment. It's the same like making wine. You gotta ferment whatever you're gonna make wine with. Same to the molasses, because they came from a fruit. These tanks ahead of us, they are called vats. V-A-T-S, vats.
Okay.
And there are 10 vats here. I have 3 on my left, 3 more on my right, and I have 4 more in that room right there. And all 10 of them are connected to one line. One line connects them all. What happens in order to run and transfer our thing? We take all 10 vats, we ferment. So when one vat is the next one just open a valve, and that's it. Just put a valve and the continuous process. Each vat holds approximately 2,000 gallons of fermented molasses. 2,000 gallons. Now, let me explain the fermentation process. What we do is that we mix molasses and water together till it reaches 2,000 gallons, till each vat is filled, and then we add yeast. The yeast, same yeast that you use at home. Sorry? Yeast.
bread.
Yeah, yeast for bread. Bread yeast,
Yeah,
yes.
yeah.
That's what we use.
Yeah.
The yeast is what turns the sugar into alcohol. Yes, it turns the sugar into alcohol. When each vat is filled with fermented molasses, when you put it added, it starts to bubble up rapidly. Bubble up rapidly. Bubble up very rapidly. And then add nitrogen, because the nitrogen is just to speed up the activation. If you don't add the nitrogen, it can be fermented for days, and that's time consuming. We want the fermentation process to end quickly. So we add solid nitrogen. No. The nitrogen speeds up the chemical reaction, the bubbling activity. So when the bubbling activity dies down, that means alcohol is waiting to be you can now begin the distillation process. Yes. The measuring
When you
happens-
say solid, right?
yes, grain, measuring. That helps us to see how we can after 46 hours, you can't use that.
I didn't realize I was going to record it, but that's all I have. So we won't get along. We're going to tell you about this soon. Wait, maybe we'll be going more details now. Where are we?
Where are we going? Oh look, it's bubbling up there.
What is just wait, I mean, it's for something, but
That's what I was going to say.
we have a canal that leads to the end of the canal outside.
Let's go sit there where this goes by the sea.
Yeah, we're in our boat, yeah. So we feel like fun. Virgin.
There's two types of stills. There's pot stills and there's column stills. Two types of stills. Pot and column. Pot stills and column stills. Our still is a column still. And it's those two columns that you see up there. Straight up there, go up. You see straight up there? Those two columns.
Yeah.
Yeah. We have a big one on my left and a smaller one on my right. Yes. The big one is called the analyzing column. That is made from aluminum. And the smaller one is called the rectifying column. So we have and that's copper.
Okay.
Yes, copper. So we have the analyzing column and the rectifying column. Only made to analyze, you know what analyze means,
Yeah.
and then rectify.
Rectify.
Yes. So this right here is the fermented molasses. This is the fermented molasses. This actually came from our back right here. So this is fermented molasses. This have alcohol. This have in alcohol at the moment. So this right here is being pumped up into our distillation columns. Now, the fermented molasses leave this tank and is pumped up into the analyzed. Listen carefully. The fermented molasses leaves this tank and is pumped up into the analyzing column. The boiler sends in steam. The fermented molasses boils and the steam extracts the alcohol particles along with some water particles, leaving the molasses content behind. That's what you're seeing here. The molasses content cannot be lifted, it is too heavy. Molasses content or molasses particles cannot be lifted. That is too heavy. Only alcohol and some water particles evaporate and is transformed over into the rectifying column. The boiler sends in steam again. The alcohol along with the water boils and the lighter part, which is the alcohol particles, is lifted again, leaving the water behind. So the steam strips away the alcohol from the water. So the alcohol vapor rises and then condenses back. So as it rises, it condenses back and drips back down in these cans right here. These are all receiving cans. Because they receive spirit. As you can see, spirit, put it right here. Spirit. S-P-R-I-T. Spirit. That it receives already. So you understand the distillation part.
There's a lot going into it.
Sorry?
There's a lot going into it.
Look at that bit of it. It's scary. Oh my God.
Heat that's coming up with this, the waste. Already being used. This is actually
It takes a long time for the boat to fill up.
So what are you actually looking at? To move something?
Ranilo,
Yeah.
that's just an idea. The boat Ranilo float.
Okay.
The float attached to the can. So when that Nilo goes up, that Nilo goes
Oh yeah,
down.
I see what you mean.
Where is it?
Everywhere to the needles go up. I believe it's that big silver thing. That's it.
Yeah, that's it. But
Right.
the
Oh.
Nilo only. So you see moving dust now. Yeah, no, man. Just take a time to pull up. Okay, so it's going up now. Okay. So it goes around. One is empty, but that's alright. And then it caps and seals one time. I think this part was ready with you. Dark rum to clear rum. This is our famous Captain Bligh. Aged for 8 years in a barrel. It has won the world's best rum in London 2014. That's the award right there, no lie. 2014. For 8 years and reduced to 40, blended at 40%. It's an authentic Caribbean rum. And it is my favorite also. 40%. This is our Sparrows, aged for 5 years, blended at 40 with our special and main ingredients, which I am not at liberty to discuss, so then
Don't ask, eh?
Don't ask. It has won that gold medal in 2015 in New York, blended at 40% Sparrows. This is our SLR, and SLR is in no way related to the strong rum. It is not a watered down version of the strong rum. As a matter of fact, the SLR is even harder to make than the strong rum. The SLR condensed off the still on a higher level, at a purer level. We say a purer level. The SLR is purer, actually purer than the strong one. It condenses off the still at a purer level. The higher it evaporates, the more pure it gets. And blended, it is filtered twice with charcoal and carbon filters, blended at 40%. Where the strong rum, which is the bread and butter of the distillery of the St. Vincent and the Grenadines, straight off the distillation center, you reduce it to 84.5, straight to the bottle, straight to the consumers. You are welcome to taste, and Hansel and Gasoline will assist you with that. Okay? So, and
Yeah.
please.
Thank you. Come on.
Here's your bag, your bag when you're ready. 40.
Yeah.
It's 40 on that one as well.
Yes, 40, 40, 40, 84, 5. All of them are 40.